that's what I want to do. I want to climb that mountain. I want to see if I can make it there.
Hello. What is your name?
My name is Manny D'Mago.
And where are you from, Manny?
Hometown right here in L.A.
And what do you do? What is your act?
I'm actually performing magic.
You know, magic does good on this show. Last year, and Shin Lim and Matt Franco. Is that the dream? Is this what you want to do full time?
It's a step towards the dream, yes.
Go ahead, do what you do.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Conflagration with the Constipator. I'm Daniel Rivington. With me, as always, is Alex Johnson. And today, we have got Manny D'Mago. Pleasure to have you, Manny.
What up, everybody?
How you doing?
What's up, Dan? What's going on, brother? What's going on, Instagram? Alex, what's up, brother?
What's going
Everybody
on,
out there?
Been a long time coming to get this show going again. Episode number 28.
Nobody laughed at my fucking intro.
It was good. It was really good. I'm actually very impressed. You did a lot of practice. You know, we've had 28 episodes for you to get that, you know, just to totally nail it.
Get your A game.
Yeah. You know, it's this is like 3 years of this podcast. So it's great to kind of be back, you know, doing this again. Manny, so let's hear about you, man. So what do you want people to know? You know, you and I, we've been friends now for several years, you know, over Instagram. You've kind of been like a mentor to me in a way. And I love the way that you always make the uplifting posts. Those don't go unrecognized, just so you know, the little stories that you share.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I enjoy
shit.
those. Yeah, seriously. I enjoy those, man.
Hey, man, thank you, brother. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm so glad that we ever, contacted and got connected. You know, it's a big thing. And it humbles me to even know that you even, say, Manny, you inspired me. Holy smokes. Because you know what? I pretty much post all of these uplifting posts for myself because I gotta be honest. Sometimes I go into these real deep, dark places.
Yeah.
And I think about like stuff like, man, I get kind of sad because I did go to conventions before and I would see the other guys and you mentioned this before. You feel like, hey man, shit, maybe I should just not fiddle with my coins. I'll put it away and I'll put my cards out there. I felt the same way, and I'm like, shit, but I just kept practicing and kind of hide away. I love magic. I love everything that has to do with it and anybody that comes along with it. And I gotta keep myself in a positive mindset.
Yeah, I mean that's
how you gotta be.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, it's like we haven't did this podcast in a good minute. Previously we had Jack Grady on the show, and that was the last one that we did in several months. And so then I remember I promised you to have you on the show whenever you were going through the America's Got Talent. But it's easy to get carried away. It's easy to get carried away and get distracted with life. But you seem to be, really persistent and consistent with it. If you say that you're having a down day or whatever, man, you're all the time still posting, and going on with the magic and making progress.
Yeah, I try, brother, because you know what? It's just keep it going, man. You can't let it can't let the motivation die. Just the other day, man, I was feeling like shit, man. I said, because I'm looking for some more work. December's kind of like slow month because everybody's like families and everything, and the celebrations they get done after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving, and just maybe a week or two before the Christmas holiday and stuff. Mm-hmm. So right now, it's been a little slow, but I've been feeling like, man, I want to do more talent shows. But I was telling my wife, fuck, man, am I fucking that good enough? Like, am I good enough? And I was hanging out at the Illusion Bar over there in Santa Monica, and I was meeting up with these old-timey magicians watching stage magic. Mm-hmm. And I was watching one of the guys, I forgot the gentleman's name, but him and his wife performed. They were performing the song The Lady in Half. But this was, the old-timey kind of stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay, but I don't know if it was just a magician in me or it was just like, because I wasn't looking for the mechanisms and the work. I was just like, I saw that. Wait, I saw that. Wait, you're not even trying. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
but you know what? It was still performed well. He kind of sold the idea, even though I saw it. But still, it was good. Like, it was funny.
Have you did very much? Have you did very much stage magic or shows, parties, corporate events? I know you was on America's Got Talent, and we'll talk about that. But what do you typically do? You said talent shows. Do you do anything else outside of what I've seen on Instagram?
Yeah, I do a lot of like private parties, and I do a few weddings here and there, and it's
Mhm.
mostly like neighborhood community style based. Since I'm a local in my community here, of course, my people around here, local places like gardens and markets, little parties around here, and then it gets spread out through word of mouth, and that's really what it is. It's word of mouth. I don't even have business cards. People just kind of just say things, and then on every Halloween, I've always done like a magic show here in front of my house. Like
Okay.
literally,
Oh,
I open up
nice.
the garage and people just come around. And Halloween, I'm here from like 6 to 8, and everybody's trick or treating. I go with my kids for a little bit, and then I come back, set up my magic show, and then just word gets around. And a few years ago, I actually was thinking about doing AGT, and that's what kind of got into it. I was always with the spooky style, and I've always been into like punk rock and
Yeah, yeah.
80s shit, and then that was like growing up, that was like my thing. So I thought, you know what, let me get this chain to play around with some stuff, some needles, and maybe I can go on America's Got Talent. I mean, I don't know. And that's when it kind of hit me. I'm like,
So,
fuck.
so a few months ago, whenever we were talking about it, before you was actually on the show, I was wanting, for you to kind of tell me what you were doing. You weren't allowed to say much of anything due to some sort of NDA that you had with who you're working with, or maybe with AGT. Or so I have a couple questions. So, first question is the character that you created for that, set. I'd like to know how that came about, and are you able to talk about, in more detail what you actually did and the
Yeah.
that went behind it? Now that it's already aired.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Full exposure, man. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, they made me sign a bunch of NDAs, and what happened was it was a long process. They had me wait a few hours to get everything through, and then they said, okay, you can't tell anything, you can't post on social media, you know, and just kind of don't make a thing about like telling people yet. We'll give you a form, and then when we tell you you can post, and you can do this and tag and blah blah blah. But the big thing about it was like the actual performances out there. The character I brought to the show was one that I actually had developed when I would say when I first started like my Instagram. I started him just because I was doing a lot of Hollywood haunting tours and stuff, like just
Mhm.
for fun. And I thought of like a kind of like, I don't know if you ever watched WWE wrestling,
Oh yeah, man.
and
I was back in the
remember
day,
The
WWF.
Undertaker with Paul Bearer and
Yeah.
shit. Paul Bearer with the urn, kind of like a character like that, but still a little more like with like Hannibal Lecter, and
Mhm.
kind of like a little mix of just what do you call that guy from who's that from the Pirates of the Caribbean? Johnny Depp,
Yeah, yeah.
like Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, kind of mixed into that. You know what I mean? So wanted something kind of spooky and kind of freaky looking. And it started off with just a guy with a tie, and I was just gonna do the chain, and the chain got him. The chain initially got him. The first round it didn't go. My second time around to AGT, the second year, that's when I nailed it right there. And oh man, that's a big backstory behind that one.
What
There
what
was
do you
a
what do you mean?
consulting behind that one too.
What do you mean the first round it didn't go, then the second time you nailed it? Did you get to practice it twice, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Well, what I mean was the first year I tried,
Oh,
that
okay.
didn't go through. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I did it 2 years consecutive.
Oh
The second
shit.
year is when I got through.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried the first year, didn't get through. I sold it pretty good, but
Mhm.
I guess it wasn't good enough.
Was it the
And
same act that you're doing, or what?
oh yeah, it was the same
Okay.
act, but this time I had tweaked it for the second time. I had Tony Clark help me out. He was consulting with me on that. He actually
Okay.
helped develop the appearance of the chain
Hmm.
and the whole thing. Yeah, he was behind the scenes. Me and him were doing Zoom calls. I was actually in Mexico with my family vacationing,
Hmm.
doing Zoom calls with him, taking my stuff, practicing, and we do the whole number and everything. And
Now, whenever
yeah,
you
yeah,
say consulting, we've had several people here on the show that were saying that they, have consultants, and usually what they mean by that is big money. So was that something that he did, just to help you out, or were you actually paying for extra consulting help, or?
well, he told me that if I won, I would split some of the money with him. So
Okay, nice. Okay, so I mean, it's hey man, just because it's magic doesn't mean it's not business, right?
No, of course, yeah. But you know what? The guy's real good. I know him through another friend of mine who owns a magic shop over here in Studio City. Brent Jarris, the Magic Apple. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of it. Great magic shop, man. That's where I bought a lot of my tricks. Local, fucking 10 minutes, man. Drive down the 101 right here.
So for those that don't know, Studio City is in the LA area, right?
Yeah, Studio City is in California, Los Angeles.
So you're near Studio City.
Yeah, I'm near Studio City. I would say San Fernando Valley, just north of Universal Studios.
Yeah, I've been to Universal Studios in LA.
Did you go to the Minions part and get wet? I'm sure you went in the summer, right?
It was when the Simpsons ride had just come out.
Oh yeah.
It's like a roller coaster with the Simpsons and stuff. So
yeah, that's where they had.
I was wondering, you know, because you've given it a couple of shots on AGT. What is it that you think stopped you from progressing any further?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I've been trying to get on other shows, and you know what? Honestly, I've been caught up in life with the kids. I have a 3-year-old and I have a 15-year-old, and you know what? Just like lately, that's last year. I was missing a lot of deadlines. I was gonna do Penn and Teller's Fool Us. I was gonna submit some stuff with that, but I missed the deadline and I couldn't get through. And that was just honestly just me just fucking slipping. I slept on it because I got so caught up with the kids, and there was like graduations and school and stuff. So I have to wait till next year when I can go back and register and do all the signups and stuff. And also was gonna do a Spanish talent show that's airing on Spanish TV. It's called Tienes Talento, Mucho Talento. It's another Got Talent show, but it's, I guess, I would call it the Mexican version, I guess. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Just like AGT, is just different judges, I guess, and they're from like the Latin American world or whatever. So I haven't seen a magician on that show, so I would think I'd probably be breaking ground on that, which would be pretty cool.
Do you think your act will translate well in Spanish?
You know what? In our culture, in Mexican culture, we kind of like, we don't worship death or anything like that. It's just we respect it highly. You know, we love our dead, and we think of them, and we don't forget them, and we remember them, and that's why we celebrate on like Halloween and all that with Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. So I guess it comes kind of embedded with the culture where I come from. But you know what? It's actually it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And you know what? The spook factor and how I got them on AGT, I mean, that's exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. Even if I didn't get through, fuck that. You kidding me? Like, the publicity is great. It's actually done pretty good for the year, but December, you know, it's a little slow and stuff. But shit, man. You should have seen their faces.
So what exactly is the process, you know, for that? Because you mentioned something about helping Lord Fingerman, our mutual friend Barnaby, about going through.
Oh yeah, Barnaby, Lord Fingerman #1.
Yeah, shout out, brother.
Yeah. He's a mutual friend of ours for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I flew up to New York City to hang out with him and JS Magic. They're
I remember those posts, man. Yeah,
okay, cool.
Chilling up in New York.
Yeah, man. Y'all definitely have the freak factor going on, both of you two. All right. I remember the first time.
Yeah, we're weirdos for sure, man.
Toys out of his mouth. He's like, heads or tails?
Jesus. Yeah, for real. Oh fuck. You know what? I started talking to him because of you, and he was like real cool. And I was like, oh shit, you know my friend Alex. He's like, yeah, Alex is cool. I'm like, yeah, you know what, Alex. Freaking great magician. I love that guy. And he's like, yeah. He was up here. He was hanging with me and cool. We're doing magic and this and that. I was like, whoa, that's freaking. You guys are fucking awesome. Love you guys, man. All right, we all connected, and it was like, you know, a small world after that. And he kept going in touch, and you know, he kept doing his thing. And he was like showing me all his tricks. And then when he started doing all the fucking, he just gags out. He's like, okay, what you want? Like, what number 6? Oh. I knew that was AGT, like straight up, because they love that nasty shit. Like they want you to freak them out, but at the same time, it's weird. They kind of just, they'll pick and choose, right?
So what's
So
the
I knew he was perfect for it.
what is the process though? Like, so I saw he posted on his Instagram story that there's an online preliminary
Oh
vetting
yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah. Totally, yeah, bro. There's the virtual auditions they call it, and for anybody out there in the magic world right now who's trying to, like, I guess if you want to break through or whatever, you go onto their website. There's a website on America's Got Talent. You search it up, you register, you make an account, and you have an option of either doing a virtual audition or a submission of a video for an audition. I think the virtual open call auditions work best because you're right there straight up with the producers. They take you into a waiting room, kind of like the Zoom call, right? And then, like, they make you wait, and then when you're up, they call your name, and then you do your thing, boom, boom. And if they really like you, they'll say, "Chill out. We're gonna send you a link to another Zoom call to talk to the executive producers, and then you're gonna wait." When it happened to me, I was waiting about like almost 4 hours. I think I was watching Tom Brady getting his butt kicked by the fucking Rams. I was watching the fucking game in the house with my son, and he's a Rams fan. I love Tom Brady. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Tom Brady is fucking dope. But we were betting, and I bet my son a jersey, so I had to buy him this $200 jersey because we lost. But anyway, yeah, they made me wait 4 fucking hours, and when I was waiting, I was already getting discouraged, thinking, this is bullshit. I'm gonna fucking leave. All right, but then I hear it on my earpiece. Manny, oh fuck, shit. I'm scrambling. I'm getting up. I'm like, okay. Well, yes, I'm here. Yes. And they're like, okay, well, you're up. Can you show us and do your thing again? I said, yeah, okay. It was like two or three guys, and I did it again, and I did it to classical music. There was a whole that thing you saw on TV was a whole different thing from what I had planned out. Like, totally, like
Really?
even the music was different. Yeah, the music they freaking changed my music on me, bro. They asked me to change it because of copyright, but then
Right.
they said they got the copyright,
Hmm.
and then they said, you know what, you can choose either or. But I had already adjusted my act to the new song, so it was like,
Yeah.
working with two and practicing two, it was kind of like a pain in the ass.
So
So
that's
I
a good
changed my
piece of
costume
insight.
too.
That's a good piece of insight for anybody wanting to be on the show, to be conscious of what you practice all the time, to make sure that it's something that's totally royalty free or your own music.
Yeah, totally. Because if it comes out and they can't use it, you have to be prepared for that. So,
So let
and well,
me,
they got the rights anyway. It's TV, so NBC is a big company.
yeah.
They were
So
able
let,
to
let
get
me
it.
let
So
me let me visualize how it actually was. So you went to the physical studio location and you waited there for 4 hours, and then they called you into a room with a camera in front of you that was broadcasting it to the producers.
no. Virtual open call is online, kind of like this, just like
Okay,
this.
so okay.
I did this from right here in my
Oh, but
studio.
okay, I see what you mean now. You said you had your earpiece in, but you always wear an
Hmm.
earpiece. Okay, that's where I was confused at.
Yeah, I had it on at the house waiting for them because I left my phone like this because
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
waiting. I left it here in the studio and I went inside. So I'm like, I'll hear them.
yeah.
They won't see me, but I'll hear them, and I just kind of whenever they come back or whatever.
And so,
So
what was their reaction? So you started your performance. You started doing what you're doing. Were you able to physically see who you were performing to and see their reactions, or is it just a screen, or what? What do they use? They use Zoom or what?
yeah, they use Zoom. Yeah, they
Okay.
use Zoom
So you could
just like
see the
this.
people you're performing to, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
You can see yourself and you can see the people that were there.
Cool.
It was pretty wicked, man. It was nerve wracking because this was the second try, and I was
And
nervous, just to say the least.
oftentimes, videos like this can be kind of awkward if you don't know the person, have a little bit of rapport built with them. So how was that? Were they just like, hello, nice to meet you, I'm so-and-so, perform? Or do they give you a couple minutes to talk and kind of get warmed up? They just put you out on the spot.
A little bit of both. They kind of put you on the spot. They say, "Oh, hi, Manny," and I remember I was like, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, give me a second. I was watching the game. Let me get back to the studio. They're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Tell us about yourself. And as I was walking back, I was just telling them a little bit about, what I was going to do. And, yeah, I chit-chatted with them for like about, I would say like 5 minutes or so while I got my shit set up back here.
Okay.
And, and that was it. Then I played the music. I got my speaker on and everything. And I played it all. I did the trick. And it was pretty much the only thing that got them from the beginning was my chain through neck. Yeah. That was it. I sold it with a song and a dance. And it wasn't even a trick, guys. It was more like, I'm just going to do a fucking dance. And that's what it was. And you know what? That's what magic is. It's not a fucking trick. It's a fucking dance. It's a dance. It's what I've been. That's what I got from that. And when I got into it, they loved it. They were like, fuck, wow, this is fucking incredible and amazing. So then Tony was like, you need to jazz it up a bit. You need to spice it up. What are you going to do with the chain? How are you going to make it appear? Yeah, you could do the chain to the neck. Okay, but that's too quick. You need to put a little bit of salsita on that shit and make it fucking pop. And I said, all right. And I said, all right, let's see what we can do. And that we literally sat at the Magic Apple in Studio City, me and Tony Clark, for like a couple weeks, like trying to develop this. And we got it. And there's a video he shot of me just performing it outright, just with the foil. And then, bam, chain. And he was like, that's perfect. Yeah, we'll do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And it was like a drill. It was a drill. But then I developed my whole act around that. And that, you know what, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, that's the part they cut out from the act. That part right there. And that was like what got me on. You know what I mean?
I wonder why they cut it.
And you know what? I honestly think it's censorship, mostly because it's a depiction of suicide. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You don't want kids imitating somebody putting a chain around their neck and then trying to, do that shit, because that is dangerous. Although I've seen like more dangerous acts, but I guess it's the props and it's more grandiose, on a bigger scale and stuff. This is more easy and accessible.
Well, how do you think, what Barnaby or Lord Fingerman, how do you think, it'll pan out with what he does, actually swallowing, things for real? Do you think that? But there was one guy, what was his name? I can't remember his name, but he would swallow entire, pool balls, pool cues.
The regurgitator.
Huh?
His name was the regurgitator.
Yeah. And he would,
regurgitate,
entire, pool balls. So they let him on the show. But he was kind of silly, he wasn't as serious, Barnaby, he's a little bit more, intense about it, but that's what we love about him.
Yeah, totally. That guy, I just love the way he just kind of goes into it right before he's, putting up his fingers, and he's like, his eyes curl up, and he's ready, man. Like that guy, his mind is just.
There's been several times whenever, we would be talking on the phone, and he was telling me he was going to try doing it was first the snake of 9 heads, which is where he has, the little tabs like that.
Yeah.
Tied together. And he had 9 or 10 of those. He showed me this in person. It's like 10 of these on just like a string, and he'll take it and he'll swallow it. If that shit gets in your guts, you're fucking gone. He puked the stuff back up, regurgitated it, and pulled it all out with all of the, tabs coming out showing. And we were on the phone one day, and he's like, man, I'm going to try the snake of 10 heads or 12 heads or something, or 20 heads. I don't remember what it was specifically, but double what he was doing previously. And I was like, bro, call me whenever you finish that, because if I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that you're in the hospital or dead or something. I didn't hear from him for a good minute, and I was texting him I was like, bro, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? He's like, I'm good. But he said one time he almost passed out. So shit, man, that stuff's serious,
Fuck.
Yeah,
it is.
You see people do it with needles and thread.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually fucking swallow it. That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean that's what he does is isn't a trick. It's just straight up real.
Yeah,
I
he's
want
like
to.
not pulling any punches. That guy, he is
Whenever
like
we
straight
stop
dipping.
recording, Dan, whenever we stop recording, or if you all know, whenever we stop recording, let's talk about that more because I want to hear something about that. The needle.
Oh yeah, the needle swallow. Oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, so
Well,
right
you
now,
can put it up. You can put it up your butt as well.
Oh
hey,
fuck! Hey, Jack Grady would know about that. Yeah.
yeah,
You
Yeah,
know what? It's
that
funny.
guy knows his way around. That guy knows his way around an asshole. I'll tell you that much.
yeah. Forgot to give a shout out to Jack.
Ask
He was the
Edie.
last guest on the show.
Yeah. You know what's funny? He was actually on the day, I believe, after me. Um, because that weekend, I think he was there, but we missed each other by like a day. And I had told him, when did you record? Because I was there on this day. And he goes, oh, I was on this day. And it was either the day before or the day after. I think it was the day after. And I was like, bro, we could have fucking like, if I would have known, I would have been fucking hanging out and shit. We could have got some whiskey or some shit, go to the bar and fucking talk literally shit. When are you gonna put up your ass this time? You know, where can I put shit like that?
I just
Yeah,
saw a
let's
video that he
exchange
just put
ideas.
out. He had, I guess it was his mom doing the bottle trick, and she turns around that wine bottles up her butt.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's literally the oldest joke in the book.
Oh shit. Yeah, yeah. See, the judges didn't even understand that kind of fucking comedy. Like that shit. That's a riot. You know,
Yeah,
I think this
the
year,
crowd loved it.
this last year was. Yeah, yeah. This last year they probably had something up their ass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're stuck up.
And he put it.
Yeah.
And Jack
You know
Grady
what's
put
funny?
it there. The thing that he had there.
What?
I think he froze, but I said he said they've got something up their ass, and then I said, yeah, Jack Grady put it there.
Yeah, he probably did. He's that good.
The inventor of ass magic.
Yes, the one and only ass magician. See,
So with
I love these guys. These are all original acts.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you about my friend in Thailand? He went to Thailand and he went to go fuck a bunch of hookers, right? As you do, another day in Rome and all that. Fucking why not? So he gets a room full of hookers, right? And he showed me the video. This really happened, right? He had someone sign a card, one of the hookers, and they had one of the other hookers film it, and then the climax of the trick was that he pulls down his trousers and the card is tied to his dick.
Oh shit! Oh well, the best magic trick of that is he probably lost money there. That money disappeared.
I don't think he's trying to put that on Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent. You know what I mean? I don't think
children in the audience, no way.
Yeah. Well,
No way. Yeah. You know what's funny? The girls didn't give me an X. The two judges, Sophia and Heidi. It was only Simon and Howie that gave me the two X's when I did that. So they only showed half the act.
Yeah.
Half the fucking act.
So with the whole X thing, how much of that, from what you know, is even real? Is it predetermined who's going to say yes and no based on what the producers say?
Yeah, it's usually what the producers say. I have friends that went on there when I was auditioning at the same time when they put us in the room when I went on stage. That got 4 yeses and never even fucking made it to TV. Like they won't even pass some of them. Like you'll get yeses and they won't even make it through. They'll just kind of fade them away. And I guess I don't know. Those are stories that I've heard. That's like 2 or 3 people, friends of mine, still on Instagram, and I mean they're still doing pretty good. They're doing other talent shows around the world, and that's good. That's good. Because AGT shouldn't be the only platform. And I agree. I'm actually signed up to try and do Britain's Got Talent too. Spoiler alert, everybody. I didn't want to tell nobody, but yeah, you're hearing it here first on Alex's show. Alex and Dan, you guys are the first 2 to hear that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're coming over here?
Quite possibly, yes. I'm not sure yet. I gotta get through all the first steps that they do, so I gotta submit all this stuff. I'm doing all the paperwork. see what happens, you know.
So for all of that, if you do the virtual show and they say, okay, you can come here physically, you would still have to foot the bill for all that, right?
Actually, no. I believe they may pay for it because AGT
Really?
did that. Yeah. And funny story. After my stage act, I left the auditorium and I
Mm-hmm.
went back to tell the guys, "Hey, I'm leaving. Okay, you know, whatever. It's fucking late. I'm hungry." 14-hour day, by the way. Fucking ugh. And they told me, "Oh, hold on. We have a check for you. You got a check for me? What?
Damn.
You gonna pay me? Damn. Okay, sure. Okay, what's up?" So I went over there and I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm fucking waiting, and I'm like, okay, dude, I gotta go. You guys gotta check for me. Oh, did you pay for a hotel? Did you pay for a plane? You know, we reimbursed that. That's when it hit me. I'm like, wait, you do that? You pay for flights and a hotel room? Like, yeah. Did you fly over here? Where are you from? I'm like, fuck, you guys are in Pasadena. I'm from San Fernando. I'm like 10, 15 minutes out. You want to pay for my gas? And like, oh, I'm sorry, no, that's not how it works.
Oh man.
Fuck, okay, so that apparently they pay for your flight and room when
Hmm.
you make it out into the stage.
Well, that's good to know, for anybody out there that actually makes it onto the show, don't forget to get that check, if you have to fly.
Yeah, don't forget, dude, because you want that. You want that credit card paid, or however the hell you ended up paying for that fucking room. And you know what? I don't even think that you have to flip the bill first. They get it for you. I think they get you a
Okay.
flight and they get you the room. So I think that's how it works.
So for
I
the
think.
Britons,
I think.
for the Britain's Got Talent, can you talk about if you've made any changes to what you're wanting to do, since you know that the suicide thing is usually a no-go for television?
Well, you know what? It's different in Britain because I know out there, uh, they're more proud. You know, I'm hoping they're a little more receptive to the dark kind of spooky stuff because a
We
lot of
love
the dark.
suicide. I love it. Everybody here loves suicide. In fact, I was just thinking about it
Yeah,
today.
shit, man. Yeah, think about it all the time. Jesus, see, that's why I love Brits, man. See, just fucking kill yourself. Oh man, but I think the chain will probably get more reception, better reception out there, especially now that I tweaked it a little and I got a whole different song and a whole new costume and stuff. So I know exactly what to sell them on. So I'm gonna I'll do my best to try to get them on the hook because the chain thing is what got me on AGT essentially. So I think I'm just gonna stick with that and see. You know, I'm just gonna milk it. Like, you know, you want to fucking dance? You want me to sell it to you? Okay, I'll sell water to a whale. Fuck it, here you go. And you know, I'm just gonna do it as spooky as I can because that's the character that I've been wanting to develop for a long time, and he's still under development. I call him Menacing Manny or Menacing Manny D'Mago.
Okay.
I
There's
was
been
gonna just
some
change it to
horror
Menace.
related. There's been some horror related magic acts already, like in the last couple of years on BGT. Have you seen them, like the creepy girl act and stuff?
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm
you're
talking about?
talking about the Sacred Rihanna, maybe?
Yeah, she's cool.
There's that, and then there was some lady who did. It was like a witch, or something. I don't know. I don't really keep up with the talent shows, to be honest. But I've noticed it. I've seen a couple on on my feed on my Facebook and stuff, and I've been scrolling through. And there's been a few acts that have been like horror related, magic ish, sort of in that sort of world. So you do sort of bizarre magic, right? And that's what they call it when you do sort of going stabbing your own tongue and stuff. And
Yeah.
do you have any do you have any sort of heroes within that bizarre magic world?
Well, you know what? The inspiration kind of comes from well, I would say that first chick I mentioned, Sacred Rihanna. I really love the way she kind of presents it in a horror style. But then there's another magician that for the last few years he actually really caught my attention. His name's forgive me if I may be pronouncing it wrong, but his name is Elaine Siminoff. And I'm not sure if you guys have heard of him. He's released some stuff with well, he's released a few tricks, and he's really good. He released one with that other AGT winner, the Asian guy. His name slipped me. He's big, like
Shinlim?
Shinlim. Yeah, Shinlim. He released a trick with him. I think it's called like Air or something. I mean, if you ever seen any of his videos online or his performances, that guy, like, he's totally like aesthetic wise, like so dark and spooky, but like clean, kind of like it's like, it's blood on the face, and he'll have a pack of cards that's pumping, and it'll bleed, and then it'll disappear, and it's still pumping. He's got some interesting shit. Like, he's really good.
with you wanting to develop, the menacing Manny character, I do remember like the Sacred Rihanna girl, like she has Instagram page or whatever that's just about that one character. So if you were to do that, would that be something that you'd want to do to kind of protect people from knowing the other side of you? So that way their only perception is that one character, not seeing posting on Instagram, as a way of brand protection, because it kind of might, diminish the effect of it if they can see other things. So are you wanting to somehow integrate that with just your normal self?
Interesting. I never thought about it that way, honestly. I always kind of just would put it out. And it's well, the character is an extension of me, of course.
Right.
It's something that's deep down inside that I kind of wish really was, something else I could be, I guess, split personality.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. I mean, it does make sense to kind of just keep that separated, because, if there is a brand and, I want to make that a brand, I could, I've seen other people that do that. I think Carissa Hendricks, I think she's one who does that, who has different characters, and she has I don't know if she has different Instagram pages or anything, but she does that too.
If you think about just, even, David Blaine, over the years, if you watch the interviews and things and such of him, on TV back in the early days till now, it's like he was very particular about, being that slow spoken, monotone, type character. And obviously, like social media wasn't a thing back then. And as he's did other interviews over the years, you kind of got to see more of the real him. And I think what part of the thing that made him, be so successful in, what, he does, not only being a great magician, is that consistency of that's all that you were able to see of him. Because things are a little bit different nowadays, because, if you're like me, you have Facebook, you have all these other social media things, and I try to keep things separated, right? I don't have just one, magician character or whatever, but in my other things that I do, it's like, man, how can I integrate these things together without it diminishing one or the other? And I guess the only thing I've thought of, to really, circumvent that is to keep everything separated. So you could create a new website for, that character, a new Instagram page, and the people that know you personally, they will still support you and follow you. But, the masses of people out there that have no idea who you are, you don't want them knowing too much. You know what I'm saying? So then they'll find that page and be like, who the hell is this guy? And then have it in a way to where there's no linking back, so they will be able to find you unless they really, really do some digging, Yeah,
right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna look into that, because that actually makes perfect sense from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
That's very good insight. Yeah. I like that. I'll definitely look into that. I got that. That means I got to make another whole little thing. I got just barely got my business cards done. They'll be in on Wednesday, so good.
You have your cards now? I thought you said earlier you didn't have any business cards yet.
No, I don't have them. I don't have them yet. I'm getting them on Wednesday.
Nice.
I just had them made, like, literally. Yeah.
So with your business cards, what are you wanting to target? Are you trying to get, shows, locally, or are you wanting to do corporate events? I know you did the AGT, so what's your intention behind the business cards?
Oh yeah. Corporate events, private parties, weddings. It doesn't matter. I'll even do kids parties. I could do the kids parties. I know how to entertain kids.
Yeah.
Really good. So, it won't be a spooky character.
Right.
It'll just be like a dad character, like me.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I portray when I come and do the kids party. So I can do all of that. And you know what? Sometimes the kids parties really do good. I did a kids party for my wife's friend up in Granada Hills, a nice house. And the kids were digging it. I was doing like a miser's dream, and I had them just count along. I had one kid hold the bucket. He couldn't see inside the bucket. I told him, hold it up high. And, you know, I'm doing thunk, 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 dumping coins. And I had another kid count. And everybody wanted to see what was in the bucket. And there was nothing in there. It was one big fucking coin like this. And the kids are like running around screaming with the coin. Ah! So, yeah, I mean, all of that. Even weddings, I do the walk around thing. Corporate events, I got a whole little desk show I could do, you know, either Zoom or in person and stuff. I'm waiting for the big corporate events. Haven't hit those yet, but
have you?
yeah, I'm fishing from.
Have you talked to Dwayne Hill? We had him on the show several months ago. I think he was episode 26 or something like that. Anyway, have you spoken to him any? Dwayne Hill?
No, you know what? No, I'm not.
So, man, this man here, he is a machine. He is a machine when it comes to you know, marketing for himself and, you know, actually doing the legwork to get the corporate events. If you go to his website, I think events for even companies as big as McDonald's, you know, and every little bit of metric, you know, that he tracks every little thing, you know, all of his expenses for his advertising, and he tracks, you know, what's coming through and what's effective and what's not. But yeah, man, if you wanted to, you know, learn from somebody that really knows what they're doing as far as corporate events and can really teach it, you know, Dwayne Hill.
Oh shit, totally. Yeah.
I believe he's on
Tap into that.
Also,
I know he's on Facebook. We talk on Facebook.
Also, Paul Brook, who's like a friend of mine. He's a Scot. Well, he lives in Scotland, but he's from Birmingham, I think. He has got a lecture that you can buy online off of his website, heknows.com, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But he's a mentalist, and he does trade shows. And he's got a lecture just on trade shows. And I've seen it, and I love it. I like, because that's something I'm wanting to go into as well, your corporate and trade shows. I actually had my first ticketed show a week ago.
Oh shit! All right. Yes.
Thank you, bro. Yes. So I did my mind reading act, because I do mentalism on stage. I did my mind reading act a week ago, and like, I didn't tell Alex about this, but I had to follow a burlesque act.
Oh damn!
So like,
it's rough.
so like there were comedians, there was a juggler, you know, it was a variety night, you know, a ticketed variety night, and I had to follow the you know, ladies who were taking the clothes off, and it's like, who wants to fucking see me?
Save the best for last, right?
That's right, man. Yeah,
it went super well.
Fuck.
It went super well, like better than I was expecting, you know. So like, you know, that was my first stage show that wasn't a private event. So that was pretty interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah, Dwayne is someone to talk to who is always like super helpful. He's super duper helpful. Like he doesn't hold anything back. He'll tell you exactly, you know, what's up. And then
I think that he also, I just saw that he posted in one of the magician groups, he's actually going to be a lecturer at Blackpool this year.
Yeah, he's coming to Blackpool. Then I'm going to try getting. I'm the president of a magic club. You know, my hometown, Leeds Magic Circle. I'm the president there, and I'm going to try get him. I'm going to try get him in the week after Blackpool. You know, while he's still in the country, because that guy's advice is like invaluable. It's
nice.
He's a good dude.
Oh, sweet, yeah, man.
And he can back up everything that he says. You know, like in the magicians only group, you know, he's kind of caught some flack from people because people just I don't know. I guess they don't really, didn't really believe him in the beginning. And he was always telling me, it's like, well, if they don't believe me now, they will see. And like he kind of got the reputation as being like a meme magician because everybody just wanted to hate on him for whatever reason. And now that he's actually going to be, a lecturer or presenter or whatever he's doing there at Blackpool, I read one of the comments. They're like, "What? He's actually doing that? I thought this guy wasn't even a real person." So it's like that's like a double,
Oh shit!
Everything that he said though, man, is legit. Like I don't know very many magicians, that are doing this. Chris Waldy, he's one of them, and Dwayne Hill, who actually have had their own billboards, advertising, their shows and everything. And so yeah, for marketing, advertising, corporate events, for tracking metrics of the effort that you're putting out to see what's actually getting a return. Dwayne be the guy I talk to, and also Chris, he does a lot of that.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm gonna find them.
So usually what we would do in the past is we would ask a few questions to just to see. I'd like to see people's responses, and I've not did this in a minute because I've actually kind of forgot about it. But my first question is for you is: do you believe in magic?
No. Okay. What kind of magic? Are we talking magic or magic?
Just magic. Do you believe in magic? Yeah. Interpret that how you like.
I love magic. I believe in it 100%. I fool myself sometimes. And you know what? It's not really about the tricks. Magic happens when you see the reactions. When you see the smiles, the laughs, the giggles, the everything. That's the real magic. And when they tell you, wow, that's amazing, and that's incredible, and I needed that. Sometimes I get the, oh, I really needed to see that. That made my day. Thank you. See that? That's the magic. That's the minute the magic happens, when the spectator feels good about having to see the magic trick and having to have had that shared with them. That's magic.
Do you remember seeing Do you remember seeing the first magician that you ever saw in person? Did that inspire you to become a magician, or what was your path leading to where you are today?
Well, you know what? The first time I ever saw a trick, before my grandpa started showing me Johnny Carson, there was a guy who would sit on a windowsill. He was an artist. He would draw like really cool pictures, just what he sees, a hummingbird, an eye, and like he was very detailed. And he had this trick that I still do. It's part of my repertoire. I've mixed it up a little bit here and there. It's on Instagram too, where I mess with 4 queens, and I put them in the deck, and then I have them kind of like an ambitious card with 4 cards, slowly come up back to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he did it again and again and again. I'm like 6 or 7, and I kept telling him, do it again, do it again. Do it again. He kept doing it, and they fooled me every fucking time. And I said, please, you need to show it to me. He said, no. So I knew where he would hang out, and I come and look for him. Like, I'm a little kid, and I said, all right, I need you to teach me this trick. No. So I would go every day. Sometimes I'd bring like a piece of flan or some shit, like a piece of bread, just to give it to him and be like, sir, can you please teach me the trick? It got to the point where I was that annoying fucking kid you wanted to bank upside the head. He finally just said, all right, I'll teach it to you. And he taught it to me. I couldn't believe how simple it was. And I said, wow, this is amazing. I showed it to my friends. I showed it to my grandpa. That's when my grandpa was like, oh, you like magic? Oh, okay. I'm going to show you Johnny Carson. And he showed me like videos of Johnny Carson. He had old VHS tapes of Karnak doing the mind reading and shit. And him doing like shows where he's playing with fucking cards. And I love Johnny Carson. That's the first like TV magician I ever really fucking got into.
Do you think
that old man?
Yeah. Do you think the old man that you're talking about? Do you think that he was telling you no consistently? With the strategy, with the reason to make you want to learn more, or as a way to test to see if you were worthy of learning it? Why do you think he would tell a kid no one time? I can understand telling the kid no one time, but consistently, more than one day in a row, seeing that you were, really passionate about it. Do you think he was doing that to try to inspire you to become one of the world's greatest? Or do you think he was just an asshole?
Yeah, he's probably a little bit of both. He's probably a dick, and he just said, "Nah, you know what, this fucking kid. Yeah, I'm probably juicing for whatever he's got." And then when I just feel like, I'll just say, "Yeah, fuck it. Bring me some more bread, motherfucker. Come here, bring me some coffee too."
Hey, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you happen to have a deck of cards? Could you show us the first trick you ever learned?
Let me see. I gotta look through my deck of cards here. Yeah, I think I got something. Well, yeah. There we go. Let me see. Well, I'll show you. Let me see. Let me make sure that these are the right cards here. All right, yeah. Okay, these are my bicycles. All right, so I'll grab my queens here. A couple of these guys here.
And I don't believe that we've ever asked someone to show us the very first trick they ever learned, but it's an interesting story.
Yeah, no, it was just something that like always got me. Like I always wanted to learn magic, so that's what got me. So we got 4 queens here, okay? All right, 4 queens. And I have my deck of cards. So what I do is I put them on top, right? No slides, no nothing. 1 queen goes right here, somewhere in the deck. I don't know where. Second goes in here. Not sure where. You can see it's like somewhere in the deck. Here's the third one, somewhere in there. Don't know where. And I'll just show you the last queen, just to make sure that one of them is still at the top. Now, this sister, usually the story I would give is the sisters wander off in the mall, and one of the sisters, who's the introvert, doesn't like to talk to anybody, like to sit down at the bench and wait for her sister. She's probably on her phone, blogging or whatever. So she'll stay at the top, right? While her sisters wander around in the mall. So what happens is her phone died. How's she going to find her sisters? Well, luckily, sister number 1 is always there waiting. So we'll just have her out of the deck. You can see that's 1 queen. And if we call upon the rest, let's see. Elevator. There's the 2nd queen. Let's see if we can find the next one. I think she may be here. Let's see. There she is. There she is. And then the last queen, not sure if she's gonna make it. So let's see if oh, I don't think that worked. But maybe 5 of hearts. Oh shit. There it is. Right there.
Nice.
Hey.
So I'm assuming that was the exact thing that he, showed you, and then you developed it, added your own thing to it, right?
Yeah. That's the bare bones basic one that he showed me.
Right. Okay. Did he even show you the snap? That part?
Yeah. He showed me
really?
the snap.
Oh wow. Okay. So he was actually, a real magician. He wasn't just some dude.
Well, I don't know what this old man was just some guy. Like, honestly, I didn't even know if he lived in the building, to be honest. We used to live out here with my grandparents out in front of Paramount Studios here in Hollywood off of Melrose. Our apartment building was literally facing the studios. So I don't know what the hell he did. Maybe he was on his lunch break. I have no fucking clue. This guy, he's gone. Like,
what I mean, he wasn't just like a bar magician that, knew that first thing. He actually spent a little bit of time, with that. Because not everybody knows how to do
the magic shops and stuff. Yeah, he probably did hang out at the magic shops and stuff. He knew a lot. When he taught me that, like literally the snap change, I had to drill with that. Like I literally had to drill and drill because I couldn't get it. My dexterity wasn't that good.
Right.
I'm 7 years old. I'm barely starting to figure out my own dick. So I'm like.
So what happened?
Finally, I got it.
What happened with him after that? After he showed you that, did you try going back to learn more?
Yeah, I tried to go look for him, and I never saw him again.
Maybe he did that. Maybe it was all, part of his plan. He's like, I'm going to teach this kid that I'm going to disappear. Like a true magician.
He said, that's it. I'm gone. Poof.
That's great, though, man. I love hearing people's early stories.
Yeah, he's fucking totally awesome, man. I really am grateful, man. It opened the door to my grandpa, who
Hmm.
was into magic too. You know what I mean? Like, he really like he really loved Johnny Carson. And in the year before he died, which was '97, he told me about David Blaine. He's like, son, you're gonna love this guy. He's a fucking weirdo. But you know what? I don't know how in the fuck he does all this shit. Sit down, watch. And my grandpa was that man. He would sit in his tidy whities in the house, barefoot, with his fucking lounge chair, kicked back, watching the TV. And he would say, watch this, watch this, watch this. And
Flip
sleep
flop.
magic. Yeah, flip flops, yeah.
Flip flop.
With the
Yeah.
fucking fungus hanging out the toes and everything, man. Grandpa Funk, straight up.
You know, it's interesting
It was
how, you know, it's like the butterfly effect, you know, how one little thing can set you off on a journey. I remember the first magician that I ever, you know, saw in person, I met in the streets of Nashville. I was first time in Nashville, just walking the street. And then there was a guy, you know, I've mentioned him before. And, you know, he did all kinds of different things on the street. And, you know, sometimes you might think this might be a scam. Somebody might be a part of it or whatever. But for this instance, it was my friend that was with me who was from also out of town, and he used him to be part of the act, holding, you know, a bag, you know, had some oranges in it, took the selected dollar bill from the audience with everybody's signature on it. And then by the end of the act, you know, he made a knife materialize, had my friend reach into the bag and pick out a random orange. There was probably 2 or 3 oranges in there. And then he pulled it out, he cut it open, slit it, and there was that dollar bill rolled up perfectly. And inside of that was, you know, that signed 20 with an orange that he borrowed from the audience. And dude, it took me about 7 years to be able to track him down and find out who he was. I finally found him. I finally found him. Yep. But yeah.
found him. Good.
Yep.
So what did you say to him when you found him finally?
I just said, I was like, hey, you did some, you know, street magic, you know, in Nashville some years ago. He lives in Santa Monica now, or he performs in Santa Monica a lot. Frank DeVille, he does on the pier, Santa Monica Pier a lot. But I just reached out to him. I said, man, you don't even know how much, you know, you inspired me and set me on this path of magic. Because before I didn't really, you know, care. I mean, I learned basic stuff when I was a kid, you know, but seeing that, I was like, oh, I just saw real magic for the first time. And, you know, I developed my own ways of doing what he did, but I still don't know how he did it. And I remember I told him about the orange thing, and he said, I don't even tell my wife how I do that. And he said, but it's not, you know, David Blaine's method. And I'm like, shit. So yeah, shout out to Frank.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll probably go search for that guy over.
Dude, he is incredible. He does a
Frank DeVille, huh?
Yeah, Frank DeVille. I can shoot you his Instagram tag or put it on the screen or whatever. But he has a stellar cups and balls routine. But according to him, he's also a member of the Magic Castle. But according to him, his dad was a magician. His dad was a professional magician. And in the year 2011, whenever I met him, he said at that point he'd been doing magic for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
So that's I guess I'd say he's probably, I don't know, probably 40, 42 now, something like that. So he's pretty much been doing magic, you know, all of his life. But yeah, he's great. His cups and balls routine, you know, he's great. If you're ever in Santa Monica, go see if you can find him.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I'll go look for him, man. Family would love a beach day just to go see what's up.
When I was a kid, it was one of the kids' birthdays, and I remember there was a kid's magician at the party called Uncle Eric, right? And Uncle Eric was doing like, you know, kids magic, you know, making silks appear and tied together and whatever, you know, kid stuff. But I remember being completely blown away and thinking, like, I wish I could learn that. Like, you know, doing how would you even go about learning that? You know, it wasn't until I was much older I realized that, like, I could actually learn it. You know, like, and then watching David Blaine on TV, you know, in the 90s, thinking he's so amazing. How is he doing stuff? He levitates. He can make the card change in the person's hand to something else, and you know, seeing that kind of stuff. And I was like, that's impossible too. That doesn't even make sense, you know. And then And then when I first started learning magic, I was like, oh, that's how he did it. All right, well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not in league with the devil after all.
Yeah, I remember thinking the same thing. Were you ever disappointed whenever you learned that some of the stuff that he was doing was, pretty simple?
No, I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, I remember whenever I first learned.
I'm going to start doing that immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Like the 2-card Monty. I remember learning how his method for the 2-card, and showing just my friends and stuff. And to this day, I will not teach anybody how to do it unless they prove to me that they learn a little bit. Like one of my friends, from overseas, really good friend. We used to work together in Taiwan, but he was like, "Man, stop being a jerk and teach me how to do that." I'm like, "Bro, if you really want to learn, go buy a deck of cards and show me that you learn how to shuffle, and then I'll gladly teach you. It's so damn easy." And he won't do it for whatever reason. But it's like, I'm not going to teach you shit if you don't at least make a little bit of initiative. Man, nobody really taught me. I had to learn this stuff on my own until I started meeting other people.
I've only ever had, I say the same thing, when people ask me to show them how it works and stuff. Like I say the same thing, like I will happily show anyone who shows willing, shows that they're willing to make the effort to actually learn magic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna teach you how it works.
People want it handed to them. It's like, even if I show you, even if we show you how to do it, it's still not going to mean that it's good. And I don't want to spoil it, because I get enjoyment out of him being like, just show me. It's like, dude, it's so damn easy if you just put like three seconds into YouTube, even if you don't know the name of the trick, But I guess that's a good thing about magic. People want to know, but they don't take the time to actually learn it themselves.
There's only one person so far who's actually done it.
Done what?
And proved to me that they actually want to learn.
Yeah.
And
I've had a few.
And I did show him a bunch of stuff. I showed him, the ring magic that I do.
Yeah.
And like some really basic card stuff because he wasn't quite there with the shuffling and whatnot, just kind of self-working tricks and stuff.
Hey, Manny, are any of your kids, are they interested in magic? Do you teach them anything, or are they going to be aspiring magicians?
Oh, yeah.
You have more than one kid.
Yeah. My 3-year-old's already knows how to palm coins and stuff. So he's already got the classic palm down and stuff. He's got it good. Yeah, he's really got it good. I taught him how to do this, the finger palm.
Yeah.
Taught him the palm, and he learns with dimes and pennies because his hand, little hand. So I got him practicing with the biggest is a quarter. So I won't go $50 or anything like that, right?
It's interesting to think.
He's got it.
It's interesting to think, starting, at, that young at 3 years old, how it's pretty much like, being, growing up with a second or, your instance, your third language, Like if someone plays music, I didn't start playing guitar till I was 12, and that's still kind of young. But then you compare that to people that started learning, when they're like, 4 or 5 or whatever. It's like, levels that I will never reach. So you could be setting him up to, be the next greatest,
Shit. Well, hopefully I got my 15-year-old who does his own tricks. I taught him one trick. And I swear we were at a restaurant. That's a funny story. I gave him a deck of cards. And it's kind of like a Svengali deck, right?
Yeah.
So they pick a card, and we already know how it works, right? So they pick a card, and he's able to, manifest what card it is. And when I taught him this, I think he was about 10. We were eating in East LA somewhere, and he did it for a bunch of kids and their moms. He had those little kids screaming, and the moms came and tipped them. We practically ate for free because of my son.
Wow.
And it was crazy because he didn't ask for the money. He did none of that. I think what it was is like, oh, yeah, I'm performing, and I guess it was that good to the kids that the moms felt like, oh wow, yeah, okay, here you go, wow.
So that's probably a lot more common. That's probably a lot more common, in the LA area. I remember my first time, going to Hollywood back like in 2008 or 2009 or something. I had my whole family out there. They came to visit me because I was stationed out there in Camp Pendleton. So we went on vacation up to Hollywood, and my mom didn't know how things work. yet. And so some lady came up to her, with a brochure trying to explain, the area. And my mom says, where is such and such place located? She said, oh, I'll show you, honey. So she pulls out the map and, gives directions. And then after mom's like, okay, the lady just sticks her hand out. And mom's like, what? She's like, I need a tip. And so mom ended up giving her $20, just to get directions how to walk down the road and turn left,
Yeah, yeah. Oh shit. Well, you know what? I don't tip. My wife does.
Yeah.
I pay the bill.
Yeah.
So I tip. I tip like at bars and stuff, but I play around with it. Like I look at it as an opportunity to just do a quick magic. Like I'll pull it out of my finger. I have this one trick where I pull $100 bill right out of my finger and it just comes right out. And I think Hanson Chen had a trick like that, similar with a loaf of bread that he consulted with a guy named Yif or something from I think he's Taiwan or Chinese.
Yif, yeah. See, Yif was supposed to be at Kabbalah. That's where I met Pete Turner, and in turn, how I got invited to Blackpool back in 2000. Was it 2019 when we met, Dan?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Yif was supposed to be the main act there, and he ended up getting exposed for a bunch of things we don't want to get into. Nothing bad, just nothing bad, just negative things in the magic community, video effect type shit, But
right.
He was really big, in Taiwan in that time, and because of the scandal going on, he didn't even show up to his, the whole event there. It was called Kabbalah Magic Convention in Taipei, Taiwan, 2019.
Wow.
And that's where I met Pete, and then Pete blew my mind, and that set me off on a whole nother several years of trying to figure the shit out that he does. And then in turn, he invited me to Blackpool, and that's how I met Dan, and that's how this show got started. So it's interesting that one little thing, man, that one little thing can set off a whole chain reaction.
Yeah. Look at that. It freaking triggered a whole freaking thing with the show. I mean, look where you guys are at now, almost 30 episodes deep, man. You guys, this is great, man. I love the fact that you do this. This is what magic needs, a little forum for discussion and stuff. And
I mean,
behind the scenes and stuff.
There has been other, podcasts that people have told us about and other shows and everything. But, we call this show Conversation with the Conjuror, because I see a lot of, podcasts and where it's like interviews, we kind of prepare a little bit, generally know a little bit about the person. But I like it being, more, we like it being a little bit more conversational. So that way you don't know where things are going to go, What?
A bit more totally. So, I don't know if I told you this, Alex, but I went to a convention in August, and I took my daughter. to the Magic Convention Leeds Magic Jam.
Oh, nice, yeah. Nice.
And so my daughter's met Dynamo.
No shit.
Oh wow! All right.
And I bought her a bunch of fucking magic shit. She's not really into it, but but she really likes doing arts and crafts and stuff. So maybe I'll get her making my flap cards and
yeah. Shit. You know what I do? I actually, that's interesting you say that, Dan, because my 3-year-old, I have him make these.
Really?
I have him peel the cards, split them.
You have the splitter?
And he glues them. Yeah. He has them. He splits them, and then I glue them. Well, he glues them. He kind of almost puts it together for me, almost. And it's pretty cool. And he's pretty good. I mean, this is, it's not the best, but it works. It does the job. So I'm like, hey, why not? And it gets him involved. So it's pretty good to get him started like that.
It starts in the kids because they got them little fingers for getting in them gaps.
you should post a video or send a video to me one day. I'd like to see your 3-year-old doing some palming coin magic.
Oh yeah. I gotta set him up. That he's always in here playing with my shit. Like he's always running around. And I actually have a magic kit for him stashed in here in the garage. So when he's ready, it was a gift from one of my friends, and she said, "Oh, give it to him." And I'm like, "All right," but he's not ready because these are like fucking good tricks. Like I looked at it, I'm like, "Fuck, I might just keep it for myself." But no, most of these I have already. So yeah, I'm like, "All right, this is cool." It's like got a couple of balls. It even has a haunted key, and it's got like the handcuffs, Houdini's handcuffs, and It's got like so many downloads. I have the box here somewhere. It's out of
Yeah.
It's buried under some shit, but yeah, that's his for sure. So I already got him prepared for what's coming. My oldest, he does it for the girls.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
high school. Yeah, I taught him my queen's trick. Not even my wife knows that fucking trick, and she fucking hates me for it. She's like, I know everything. I know all your tricks. I know, but that one I can't figure out.
So are you talking about the thing that you showed us? The
yeah,
trick?
that one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely don't know how it works, and she
really.
Yeah.
You think at this point she would have been around you enough to really kind of know by now?
Yeah, but the thing was that like I'm always very secretive with that trick, with her at least.
Yeah,
and she actually, I've offered it to her. I told her, hey, you want me to fucking tell you how I do it? I'm gonna tell you. No, don't tell me. It'll ruin it for me. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
that's happened.
Right.
That's happened to me before. Then something as simple as a stupid coin palming, and then I snuck a coin into their hoodie, and then I went across the room and I just did a simple coin vanish, and I said, I'm gonna make this coin disappear and reappear, and then went through that. And I said, see, now it's in your hoodie. And she reached in and she thought that it was real. And then finally, after, a couple months, I told her how I did it. And she was very disappointed. She's like, well, damn, now I wish you hadn't told me. So sometimes you have to be strategic about, what you do reveal to people. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in for this episode of Conversation with the Conjuror. Yeah, Manny, excellent having you on the show, man. Keep us posted with everything going on with you. Do you have a website?
No website yet. I'm still in like infant stages on that stuff, but I still have my Instagram and YouTube directly with IG. Follow me on there. TikTok too. Twitter. I'm also on Twitter. Just find me here. Follow me, and we'll keep you on tabs on everything that's going on. There's a whole lot more coming. This is a growing thing, so it's just gonna get better every year. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you. A little bit of shameless self-promotion. If you want a website, I'm doing Elite Personal Branding. So I'm wanting to make a website for a magician. I don't have one yet. This looks backwards on my screen, but I make websites, and I'm wanting to do some for magicians. So in the future, everybody watching, if you want, a professional website, holler at your boy. And Manny, offers open to a website. Hit me up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna talk for sure.
Thanks so much for coming on, Manny, and I'm sure we'll catch up after this.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Thank you guys for having me, Dan. This is awesome. You play guitar like a fucking maniac. I love it. You guys are awesome. Everybody. Thank you guys for everything, and thank you everybody out there. Appreciate the love out there, man.
We are the weirdos, mister.